Welcome everyone for another game 4 of that grand final between Dirty Lake and the boys and Indecisive in that PCC 7. And once again, we're gonna try to go at it. Dirty Lake and the boys are at match point. They're close to be the tournament champion and they're gonna throw everything they have at Indecisive. Indecisive trying their chance with like more a mid-game type of comp against like the pretty good scaling that have Dirty Lake and the boys. Indecisive on the clock. Will they manage to tie back the series? We are back for another game of the grand final best of 5. Dirty Lake and the boys just pull out the win in the third game, so they're now up 2-1. It's match point for them, and probably they are very hungry for it, because Dirty Lake and the boys is a team that has been part of the top teams for a very long time, but they kind of want like that W for themselves, being able to beat like all the top teams, and looking for it here. In terms of composition, we do have once again the Sevrok into Grux matchup. This has happened already 2 times, and 2 times it was at the advantage of the Dirty Lake and the boys. So maybe we have something slightly different this time. We do have managed to secure the Zarus for the side of team Indecisive, but it's being played by Import. We do have also Gideon. This time we face against a Bellica, so she decided to get out of the Morigesh and bring back the Bellica, a more classical type of pick. In terms of frontline, the frontline on the side of Team Indecisive is a little bit weak. Grux, not a great frontline. Zarus, not a great frontline either, so they kind of have to go in and make stuff happen immediately, and I feel like they don't really have a good dive comp. Like Decker and Zarus can dive, but the rest is not very good at following that dive. So in my opinion, they need to make plays happen before team fight that happens, because against a Sevrok, Quang, Gideon, Argus, Twin Blast comp, like the team fight are going to be very hard to navigate. So we need Indecisive to be able to pull out strong early and try to snowball the game here, so they can just like get some one-shots through the Bellica, some one-shots through like the Zarus, and otherwise it's gonna be like a little bit scuffed to play into. So in terms of dual lane, we do have the Argus Twin Blast, getting the level 2 priority, looking for a little bit of poke on 2-man Q and Neft, but nothing really of substance. Once again, we see that North go for like the blue into 4 into red buff. He has done that start also on the Kalari, so it's something that apparently kind of like, and maybe one of the ideas that he can be on the position of ganking when he gets his timing to gank, it's to be against like Moros on the Grux, because Grux can be a strong character, can be like a very nice lane bully, but he needs to be a lane bully, otherwise his efficiency kind of get diminished quite a lot. And here we can see Dirty Lake and the boys have been multiple times kind of punishing that. Here we can see Moros is going, but now we're gonna get the gank. Very nice dodge to go around the subjugate, and so that's gonna be the end of that gank. So the idea, I guess, here, it's like it was planned from the startup, is that we go for blue 4 into red into a gank onto that offlane to try like to punish as fast as we can. But because the subjugate doesn't connect, Moros is able to dodge like most of the damage, and so that's still like gonna be, in a sense, almost completely nullified. So we got the usual passing for like Import that love to go for the chill buff when it spawns. We're gonna look to get some aggression on the side of Happy Picker with North that was around, and so we get like some good poke on Tushin, while most of the damage back has been dealt to North, which is not really impactful for the 1v1 in mid lane. Happy Picker is like, thank you for the 20 gold. And so far we have Lobber at 26 against Moros at 21, so Lobber once again pulling ahead on the CS department, despite the Grux pickup. Here we're looking at like pressuring the wave quite fast. Ooh, dodging the double pain. So we're gonna be able like to get some good damage onto Moros. Moros is trying to freeze that, but it's gonna take like a lot of damage for it and doesn't even secure it. We do get like some good aggression though on the dual lane that I completely missed, so we're gonna rewind like 10 seconds. And we get like import for the rotation, looking to come from behind them. And here we get like a good cage. Toasty like jumping over, but that's gonna be like import securing like the barricade. We do get the flash. Get some good damage. Get the flash as well. Toasty 1 HP. We're tanking a little bit. Lakenator 1 HP as well. And he's gonna survive. We do get the rotation from north, but it's gonna be a little bit late, so I don't think there is anything to be found. But maybe here on Manq we get like some good damage onto Neft. The stun doesn't connect. And so like Lakenator is still like able to play. Neft kind of want to secure like his farm, but it's a little bit risky. Web is gonna bounce back because like Lakenator pushed it back, so they still like are fine in a sense. But they have to be careful of not overstaying their welcome. So they want to crash one more wave actually, taking advantage that the Argus gonna be back. And it's not like the... Here we're gonna get the crash. Toasty stopping the crash. But we get the rotation of the Quang, so they cannot really like afford to stay there. Gonna get like the combo, we get the cage, but the cage was completely useless. Because we didn't like body block any movement from north. But in the end, Nef survived and he's safe. Didn't like panic or use his flash. Was willing to go back to base, so just delay the back a little bit. So nothing of real substance here. So we got import, probably halfway from his level 6. First Coliseum can be quite important to be able like to secure those first stacks, which will help with like all the future clears afterwards. For some aggression, but we're gonna get the Colossal Blow. We get the flash immediately. We're gonna get like the sword into the combo, trying to deal as much damage as they can on Moros. Phantom Rush in, so we have import, but Happy Picker is rotating as well. So that's gonna be like the first kill secured by Dirty Lake and the boys, and we force the flash away from import. So first rotation of Happy Picker being successful. Gonna be able for them to just like fully crush that wave. Import is gonna stay like to kind of capture it, to not make that Crux like fall too far behind. So Import sacrificing a little bit of his farm to ensure that his offlaner is still like able to play. And he's gonna secure the teal buff for himself in the meantime. Happy Picker back in mid. Working towards the Megacosm. Here we got an anti-heal first for Toasty, which is actually quite interesting because like anti-heal for Zarus, it's not working. So like the only like value of that anti-heal item is, I guess, the Grux Omnivamp, which I feel like it's probably a bit early to go for it. So I'm really wondering why we go for the Spike Birch first, because he has no value against the Zarus. Since like you lose the blight effect before the Zarus passive kicks in, so we're gonna go like for a very nice stun. We try to get like the cage over, we get the stun. Unfortunately, like the cage is gonna run out and that's not gonna be enough to secure the kill. So the first Coliseum has been expanded without securing any kill, which is a very good operation by the side of Dirty Lake and the boys. To be aggressive onto Moros. Moros is gonna use the Explosive Flower to send people away. North is trying to be aggressive. We're gonna get the Colossal Blow. And here we get the rotation of Happy Picker, which means that Moros has no shot of staying alive. And that's gonna be like the first kill. Ooh, long arm of the low is very close to getting the kill, but not strong enough. But in the meantime, because they inflict a lot of pressure onto the offlane, they're gonna go for the Fangtus on the side of Indecisive. So that should be like first Fangtus for Indecisive, while on the other side, we're gonna secure the first mini prime for the side of the boys. Happy Picker stopping Shin from stepping forwards, and so that's just going to be like an objective trade, but with another kill being secured in the process for the side of Dirty Lake and the boys. So DLAB slightly better off after this whole situation, but at the same time I think like Shin didn't rotate, so... But Happy Picker is still managing perfectly in terms of CS department, despite the fact that he has already rotated 2 times, while Shin hasn't rotated once. Yes, Toasty, that's the question, like, why are you going Tainted Scepter first? Because in terms of healing, I feel like there is not much value at that moment in the match, at all. But maybe it's just like the burst and the quality of the item itself. Okay. Thank you for confirming it's basically a stack stick. This is where like I feel like Tainted Scepter is a little bit weird, that the item is that good that even if the healing, the blight has no effect, you still like buy it. Which I feel like that tells us that it's probably like slightly too strong. But it's maybe because we don't have like enough of other option that can be like a little bit similar.
Allied tower under attack.
So here we're gonna secure the gold buff for like an Aether. We have like the crest ready to be finished, so kind of an early crest for a carry to be able to finish it at 11 minutes. We're looking for maybe some aggression onto Shin, taking the teleport into the tether, but the tether not connecting, so that's gonna be the end of that aggression. So Lober being 10 CS ahead of the Grux. Like so far, like this Grux-Sevrog matchup hasn't been working at all for the side of the Indecisive. And this is where like when your hero pool is a little bit limited, that's like where it can start to struggle. And here we can see that probably Moros being first to play Grux every time and Lober was completely ready for it, kind of like might be an issue overall and something that can be improved for future tournament. So, a little bit of a slow moment. We're waiting for objective to respawn. Get maybe like some aggression here on Happy Picker. Import was looking. In terms of level, we have 1 level lead in the mid lane, 1 level lead into even in the jungle. Well, even everywhere, I think like Shin should be pretty close to level 10. So in terms of experience, we're doing pretty even. In terms of CS, we're pretty even as well. So not much happening so far. Also, like we didn't get anything happen with that mini prime. So securing the first Fangtus was slightly better than securing the first mini prime, even though we got a kill on top of it. So far, game fully even. Once again, like I feel like the side of Indecisive needs to make stuff happen before we reach those 5v5 teamfight moment, because their composition, I don't think is good enough to really secure those 5v5 teamfight, while the composition on the side of like Dirty Lake and the boys will be like super happy with those situations. Like very good clean dive engage with good follow-up. They can play the front to back, like they're very versatile. And that's something that will be probably the demise of Indecisive if they does not start to pull something like in the next like 6-7 minutes. They really need to start the ball rolling, otherwise it will be like almost impossible for them to play later on simply through the draft times itself.
Allied tower under attack.
Here we're looking at a little bit of poke onto Manchu. And here we have Lobber rotating immediately, so we really want to commit for that Fangtus. As we can see, Lobber already there, ready to sacrifice a little bit of his farm, and being there is exactly at the moment it spawned. So we're gonna be like a little bit late on the side. We see that import is super far away, and so that's gonna be a free Fangtus. And we're gonna use the Gideon against. And Dirty Lake and the boys have been doing that like in the previous match. When they played on the Dawn side, they get like into the pit immediately. As soon as they spawn, they hard DPS the objective and then use the Torn Space to get out. And I'm finally happy to see a team that actually like are confident in their damage. They try to go for that. Not so sure why Happy Picker is not looking at damaging Shin. And here we go to get the rotation from Import. Moros is here. We do get the grab. Happy Picker forced to flash away. We try to turn the damage onto Moros. Moros trying to chase a little bit, but it's not going to be enough damage. And I think that's going to be like the end of that situation. So maybe we get like some priority for the mini prime. But Dirty Lake and the boys wanted to be certain that we have absolutely no shot of triple Fangtus game, because I think that's the only way out Indecisive had in that game to be able like to maybe have a shot at that game. It's like the triple Fangtus snowballs route, and now it's closed. I really don't know what Indecisive can do in that match to actually have a shot, because Dirty Lake and the boys are just a step ahead when it comes to it. And I was saying, like, I kind of like to see teams that start to do that with the Gideon, that just like are not scared of just entering into the pit, are DPS the objective and get out. It took us a year to have a team that finally does that consistently at the top level, but we got there. Only a year. So we can be hopeful that maybe in one more year we will get like some other basic like secured and some strategy like a little bit better implemented. So here we're trying to zone. Mini prime is being secured. I feel like that was like the timing for like at least Indecisive needed to secure that mini prime for themselves, but we have a fight to cover. Import taking quite a lot of damage, forced to flash away. Moros is still like also like being stuck, and it's gonna get chased. That's probably gonna be try to go for the re-engage onto Lobber, but North, the low HP target, is not like not getting out. We try to go for the snipe, but North is a little bit too tanky for it, and that's looking for the disengage. They try to go onto Lobber. Lobber forced to flash away, and that's gonna be like no kill. A lot of flash being secured, true, but they lose also the mini prime. And I feel like after the good fight in the mid lane, we should have been looking on the side of Indecisive for that mini prime for themselves, because then they just left. Dirty Lake and the boys have time to go back to base and then come back to contest it. And here, as we have seen in the previous match, or every single like previous match, like Dirty Lake and the boys are not scared to enter the pit and DPS the objective. Like they feel confident enough into North like ability to secure the objective, and also their ability to zone and play correctly those situations. And that's kind of like what we see overall from Dirty Lake and the boys, is like they kind of ooze confidence, while on the side of Indecisive there is like a lot of I'm not sure, and that I'm not sure moment, like you cannot really afford it. It's too much at that level, while like a team that just like goes super fast. And like I said, we needed Indecisive to start pulling ahead on that moment. Like that's the moment that Indecisive needed to like play strong. And the thing is here, we see that's actually the contrary that is happening. What time is Meta Talk? It's gonna be at 5 PM EST, Toasty. So here we're looking for a little bit of pressure maybe onto the mid tower, thanks to the mini prime. All the minions are pretty low, so one more Void Bomb should be enough to clear everything, so there is not much that they can really do here. Toasty is trying to keep at bay like most of the enemy team. We try to get like some good damage onto Lobber, but we do get the Black Hole, already lose Shin, already lose like the import, and so that's gonna secure also the tier 1 tower in mid lane. Thank you, Age, for the follow. Welcome, welcome. And so overall, like I said, Indecisive needed to pull out strong in the next 6-7 minutes. What is happening for the past 6-7 minutes is like Dirty Lake and the boys are pulling out strong. Which, to be honest, with the composition we have on both sides, I feel like it's already game over for Indecisive, and we probably already have our winner of the PCC 7, which is gonna be Dirty Lake and the boys. Here we can see that we're looking towards like the third Fangtooth, but that third Fangtooth is not super critical. But as again, like once again, we enter the pit, we pull it immediately, we deal damage, we don't even let time for the side of Indecisive to react, and once again, import is gonna be a little bit late. We use the portal. We have seen that already like 5 times in that grand final, and in a sense, like that's how you play at the top level. You just like go fast, be confident in your plays, you have practice, you have prepared, you're confident that it's gonna work, and because you're that confident, like here they go so fast that the window of reaction, like if they weren't anticipating it like 30 seconds ago, there is no shot Indecisive can contest that. And so now we secure like a free Fangtooth. We're back again to the 2-1 scenario we talked many times during like the matches. And here it's just a matter of like keep scaling, keep winning teamfight, keep forcing 5v5, and that's just gonna be a W for the side of Dirty Lake and the boys. The window of skirmish of like little amount of players is already closed, and the 5v5 doesn't look good at all for Indecisive. So we keep looking at getting some stacks. Lauber working towards like his magnificent shoulder. We do have Toasty that has to be careful. Oh, a nice stun into the cage, so we flash immediately and Galaxy Grief to be safe. Here Toasty realized that he could get caged and he would have been like in trouble. Here we might be looking. Import trying to go in. We get like a very, very nice like dive in, but that's gonna be like the counter black hole. Immediately, that's gonna be like Import being dead. Shin is gonna be next on the menu. Manku trying to survive. We already have lose 3. Neft is dead, and that's gonna be our prime. And like Manku, no, ooh, that body block of the pillar. So Crazy Fool, best Argus in the world. Well, Toasty is looking for some piece of the cake as well.
Enemy has been slain.
That was like a beautiful pillar here by Crazy Fool, by Toasty. And so that's gonna be like the all prime being secured, and all prime at 22 minutes in, 8-1. Nothing going for the side of Indecisive. Like I said, if they reach the 5v5 team fight, it's gonna be like a slaughter. That's exactly what we see here. They didn't like fully utilize their... they didn't manage to pull out ahead with their composition early. And so now we have like all prime on 5 people on a team comp that actually like will strive into like those scenarios that they can like actually just like create all the space they want. It's like it's just here, Dirty Lake and the boys, realistically speaking, pushing for the win. The only thing that can happen is maybe, what do we have? Like Sanctification on the Decker. Well, it's like we need to manage, like we need to kill an Argus that have Galaxy Grief, a Twin Blast that is behind like so many front lines, and a Gideon that is super slippery with 2 Silver Bracelet, with limited amount of damage on the side of Indecisive. Like, I don't know how you make that happen, to be honest. So here we have like the split push on the offline side with like a 1-1-3, and we can see like Sevrog by himself against 3 people keep like pushing people back because like Sevrog is that big. He's trying to bait, but Lauber is a master of the split push. And so here we have like 3 people pushing the inhibitor, and we're gonna be late on the side of Indecisive. I feel like Dirty Lake and the boys has been like way too fast for Indecisive during this whole match so far. Now we're gonna try to engage onto Toasty. We dodge the stun here with the Coliseum, but is it gonna be enough? No, North is way too tanky for that. It's just gonna like tank. Morris is trying to go in. We're gonna like spread out. We have a 5v3, but we get like a very nice disengage. Bellica is 1 HP. We're trying to get onto North, but now the black hole is arriving. Morris is forced to flash away. Import is left alone. Shin is dead already. We already like find 2 picks, and now we have the wave arriving in the mid lane. Lobber also like joining the fray. We're gonna get the regen from the All Prime, and that should be the push for the win. We have like 2 big wave of minion. All 5 members are up, while we only have like 3 people up on the enemy team while they are very behind. And so that should be like, we try to go in, but that's not gonna be enough. Like they're way too tanky, damage is not strong enough, and that's gonna be like the W for the side of Dirty Lake and the boys, and that's gonna be them winning the PCC 7 and becoming the champion of that edition.